Curry, they got you, don't you worry. If you were in a hurry, vibe with Kurre and Klapow. Kurre and Klapow.
There we go.
They got a fresh new show today. It's Kurre and Klapow. Whether you up north or
the cat drug in.
or down south, that's for Stavia. Turn up your sound and listen well.
It's like a weird dream.
Yeah, it's been a weird ass dream.
Kurre and Klapow, they in the know. Their
you got
topics
multiple
cover
cameras.
A to Z. So
We look really
whether you
bright
drive
on
fast or
Facebook
slow,
Live
just
this
sit on back and feel the beat.
Welcome back.
It's Kurre and Klapow.
It is the Kurre and Klapow show here on a February 10th, 2022. It's the first time Dr. Josh Klapow has been in the studio since,
10 years ago?
well, it was last year. And that's a long time. Usually say last year, you're talking like January 3rd or 4th, but it's
What
like
the hell
February
is in
10th.
my head?
Huh? I know, you're super shiny, dude. Well, you know, I mean, we have to rework it. Look at your camera over there. It's messed up. Welcome back, my friend.
Well, thank you.
I've had several people reach out to me and they're like, dude, what happened to Kurre and Klapow? Are you guys not together anymore? And I'm like, no, we're still doing our thing, but things change, evolve. We added a bunch of shows. You got a bunch of things going on in the mornings, and so we decided just to kind of make it a once-a-week kind of thing. And then the Omicron thing came in, and you're all freaked out about Omicron, so I didn't want to get you over here, and it's going around circles. I think I've had Omicron like 16 times like in the last 3 weeks. I think I got it right now.
You got the little carriers on your. See, I'm an empty nester.
Yeah.
So you got the little
You've
carriers.
had it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't.
I will bet you $1 million right now if you go get an antibody test, you have had Omicron. It's impossible. Your wife had it. Your son had it. Your girl had it.
No.
You've had it.
No.
Don't pull this. Well, you're one of these. No, you're one of these. You've done everything right. You've done everything perfectly. You've traveled abroad. You've done all these things that you probably should have gotten it. But I know you're super careful. But you're one of these ones where you're sitting there saying, "I'm not going to get it. I haven't had it," and you want to say you never had it, but you had. You've had it.
Well, no, I don't. You don't. Okay.
You had it.
Why are you saying that?
Because we've all had it.
No, you
yes.
No.
Then I haven't had it.
You haven't.
I haven't tested positive.
I know. I don't think you've had it.
I tested.
So no. Listen. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I told you this several weeks ago. At one point, I was having COVID envy.
Yeah.
I was like
you wanted to have it.
Well, yeah, because both my kids had got it. They were one was real sick, one wasn't.
Yeah.
They were feeling better. They were like, oh, now I can go out. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, this sucks. But one of the things that we know about the vaccinations is it. I mean, that's what they're designed to do. It decreases your chance of getting it.
Yeah.
So it is quite possible, believe it or not, that I didn't get it. It's possible.
Well, it's plausible.
Yes. I mean, and I could have.
Yeah.
I could have. Absolutely.
I'm betting that you had it, and because you're fully vaccinated, you just didn't know it. I think the majority of people at this point have had it, more than 50%.
Yeah.
Science has told us that more than 50%, but I think the majority of us have had it, and because testing was hard to find, and because it didn't affect most of us, because the ones that are vaccinated have to worry about it. Now, obviously, if you went to the hospital, you died, you knew you had it, but I think the majority of us have had it, and my doctor, Dr. James Sullivan, who was out there at Parkway Medical, told me 2 years ago. This is when he gave me the hydrochloroquine thing. He's like, you're going to get it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And this is when like less than 1% of people had it. And he's like, you're going to get it?
Yeah.
He's had it. I saw him last week. It's like everyone in my office has had it. It's almost impossible not to get it.
The only thing I don't like, I know, we won't get into it, and people are like, oh, crap, Klapow's back talking about it.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is the complacency that you're just going to get it. So just go on.
No, I don't want it.
That's the only thing that makes me a little concerned, is because people get a little loose with it. And, one of the things, and I'll just say this, and I'll stop. Let's get on fun stuff.
Yeah.
And because this is the one thing, I'm not a medical doctor, but this is not like a respiratory, you got the crud. And I am talking to people that I know who are friends, who are vaccinated, who got it, and they got weird stuff going on. And that's, to me, the scariest part of it to me is at this point, I'm like, I'm not worried I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. What I am worried about is what is going on in my body, because I sure as hell know that it's not sitting in my lungs.
No, and I think
that's the only piece.
It's I talk about Funky Town, Funkyville.
Yes.
I had some funkiness. Was it last Thursday, the Thursday
Yeah,
before?
and I thought you had it.
And we know that depression. There's some depression and some anxiety that can come into play with it.
Yes.
It just makes you feel like you're just out of sorts. I think it's the best way you can say it. And the fatigue part plays a big part of that. You're super tired, and a lot of us are working super hard, and we're trying to do the best way. So maybe I'm just tired, and then the runny nose, blah blah blah. But yeah, it does. It just puts you in a funk. I mean, I've been in a funk like. I'm fine, but for like the last week, I just haven't felt right. I don't know what the hell it is. But I'm not going to keep testing every single week to find out if I got it because, quite frankly, I don't want to know if I've got it.
Oh, you don't see that. I don't like that. You got to be careful.
Well, I'm speaking for every
yourself.
man. 90% of people watching us right now or listening to us, they don't want to know if they're not sick. Now, I went to church this past Sunday. Wasn't feeling particularly good. Woke up, had allergy issues, runny nose. And so I sat in the back of church by myself. I stay away from people, and I wore a mask. I mean, that's the way I would do it if I felt sick anyway.
Yeah, people talk about what the new normal is going to be, and I think what you're going to see. I mean, again, it happens in China. Mm-hmm. It happens in other Asian countries. Is people wear masks? Not all the time.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
Plus, you know what? Can I just tell you this? I told you this before in the wintertime. Mm-hmm. I know it's torture in the summer, but when you're bald like me, and you go out in the cold. Sometimes I just leave my mask on.
Oh, yeah.
It feels nice and warm.
I will say this, and you're not going to like this.
Okay.
I am getting on board with not masking kids in school anymore.
Yeah.
It's affecting my kids. It's the point.
It's based on the rates, right? It's based on the rates. So
it is, but I mean, there's still people saying we need to hold off. And I told my daughter this morning. I said, listen. Yeah. You're fully vaccinated now.
Yes. If
you don't want to wear a mask, do the best you can not to obviously rub against people and lick their snot and
that's
stuff.
Okay.
I said, but because it's affecting her. And she's like, and it's not, I don't want to wear this mask anymore. It hurts too much.
No.
It's affecting, you can't see people's faces. You can't see it. And it's affecting our kids. And it's gone on too long. And so I'm not one of these, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm not going to be standing out in the middle of the street or on the Ottawa-Detroit bridge blocking traffic down because
you got your kids vaccinated.
Yeah. But
but again, you got your kids vaccinated.
I told my kids,
I
said, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. I said, you don't have to do it. I said, and it's not because the CDC is not saying that we don't have to wear a mask anymore. So
it's all based,
we've had enough. We've done everything we can do. We've fought the good fight, and now we just have to play it out. Be careful, try to stay out of big groups of people.
Yes.
And, so that's.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
I love you.
So, but yeah, I feel for our kids because, I was all about, screw it. Pull up your bootstraps. It's wearing a mask for a few weeks. Ain't no big deal. You can do this, and now it's like it's been 2 years and I'm like, enough's enough. I'm not going to do it anymore. So I'm telling my kids, they don't have to do it.
But you've done all the right things. And the thing. That's the thing. And you have a, what do you call it? Hypochondriac Jewish friend.
Exactly.
and that shows me how much you care about me.
All right. So, it does. So we got a lot to get into today. We got Blues Almighty coming up at noon and 8, a little bit later on today. We have the Damon Johnson show tomorrow. Stuart Rome, When in Rome. Brand new show that we start doing. It airs on Fridays at 1 and 7. We did a show yesterday that will air tomorrow that is a must-listen-to show for men, particularly with Valentine's Day coming up on Monday.
Interesting.
Roughly 40%, according to Elite Daily, in a survey they did of over 4,000 people. No, I don't think that you are Mr. Elite Daily. But roughly 40% of men and women not only dislike Valentine's Day, we loathe it. We're to the point now where we hate it. We're like, I hate Valentine's Day. And we're going to get some science here. There's some science behind it.
Yeah.
But you're the psychologist, and I know you've come just loaded for bear.
Yeah,
You're going to tell us why people hate Valentine's Day. We'll get into that in just a few minutes. I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday who is got his first Valentine's Day with this girl that he's been dating. They've been together for about 6 months, and he is just absolutely blowing up. He's like, I hate it. He's not into the mass hysteria of Christmas and Valentine's Day, and he's not into the monetization of it. He thinks it's a big racket. And I'm like, listen, here's the deal. It's a day we all recognize. Mm-hmm. It's universal. Mm-hmm. I said, here's what you need to do. There's two things that women want. and men want to an extent out of Valentine's Day. First of all, guys just want to get laid. As long as we're getting some hoochie coochie on Valentine's Day, guys are pretty happy. A woman's got it so easy in this thing. Well, no, it really hasn't. A woman's got it pretty easy because I'm telling you right now, I don't care how sensitive your boyfriend or your husband is. If you show up at the door at 5 o'clock on Monday in some negligee and say, I want to spend the evening with you, game is on, it's over. It'll be the best Valentine's Day of his life. Guys can't do that all the time. I can't open the door and go, how you doing, honey? I'm ready to serve you and do you. I'm going to give you 4 hours of foreplay. That ain't a Valentine's Day for a woman. She wants, something more than that. She wants the thought process that goes into it. For guys, we're easy to please. As long as we know we're getting it good, we're super happy. That's one of the reasons people hate Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
is because
on both sides.
Because women are like, great, I got to sleep with Bob tonight.
Well, and Bob's wondering if he's going to get it.
And it's not to say that she doesn't want to sleep with Bob. She doesn't want to have to sleep with Bob. This is the anniversary sex. This is the birthday sex. And this is the Valentine's Day sex. And that adds to a lot of anxiety, particularly if you're in a relationship that is elongated. It's been going on for a long period of time. You have children. And it's a situation where maybe your sex life isn't what it was, 5 years ago, 50 years ago, 5 months ago. And so there's this expectation.
Yes.
And if you're not on both on the same page.
Yep.
And then you get into the, we just had a huge meal. I know we're supposed to be together, but what do you think? Let's just go to bed.
Yep.
And you go to bed, and then you feel like you missed an opportunity there because you're only getting it once a month.
Yes.
So there's a lot of different reasons why we don't like Valentine's Day, and there's some medical reasons too that we'll get into.
Like the big dinner
later on. Yeah. We're gonna get into that in a second. Want to mention about 24 hours from now, 8:30 tomorrow. Al Del Greco will join the Tony Curry Show tomorrow. I'm thinking, who do I know that I could talk about the Super Bowl? My Super Bowl Bengals playing on Sunday. Is there anyone I could reach out to? And I was like, you dumbass. He played in a Super Bowl. I did a show with him for 12 or 13 years, so he's going to come on at 8:30 tomorrow.
Oh, so that's going to be
about
so great.
Evan McPherson, the Fort Payne kid, done good. We'll talk about him, and yes, I will ask him questions about what in the hell is going on down at Auburn right now. Brian Harsin, I don't know what's going on. 20 players have left. 5 coaches have left. They're doing some.
Well, it affected their basketball team too.
Yeah. Yeah. Auburn's turning into a basketball school. You're coming off a 6 and 7 season. You bring this coach in. You're feeling super good about it. And you're like, what are we doing? So I'll ask him about that. And I know he'll be very, very open about that as well. Speaking of the devil, I wanted to mention this story. Greg Robinson, who was a second-round pick in the 2014 draft. That draft, man, that draft had Khalil Mack, Mike Evans, OBJ, C.J. Mosley, Clinton Dix, Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Jarvis Landry, Devontae Freeman, Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, that draft was loaded. Greg Robinson was the second player picked out of Auburn back in 2014, the former offensive lineman. Was pulled over Monday morning in his 2021 Cadillac Escalade. They smelled some drugs in his car. I'm not sure why they pulled him over. Cocaine, crack cocaine, oxycodone, hydrocodone, Xanax, marijuana, $120,000 worth of drugs found in his Cadillac Escalade. I'm laughing because
Why are you laughing? Because you cry. Not you cry?
And this is the second time because about 3 or 4 years ago, he was pulled over with 58 pounds of marijuana in his car, and he was given 5 years probation. He didn't even have to serve any time in prison. He got pulled over with $120,000 worth of drugs in his car, so it gets worse for the Auburn Tigers. But I saw that story, and I wanted to bring that up. I'm not going to ask Al about that because – and, again, we talk about, the whole situation that happened after the Pro Bowl with what's-his-face, who got arrested for pounding somebody in the face in an elevator.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm always like, when you're worth a lot of money and you have a lot of power, I don't understand how anyone can put themselves in that position. You just signed a $75 million deal, and you can't stay out of trouble in Las Vegas after the Pro Bowl.
I think it's like a paradox, right? On the one hand, you should be thinking.
Talking about Alvin Kamara, by the way.
Yeah, you should be, it's what you think you should be thinking.
Yeah.
Right? But on the other hand, there is this sort of I'm invincible, but I can do whatever I want to do. Like, and then I'm saying it sits back there. You actually become, you can be, and people, look, not every player goes that way, but people can become less paranoid and concerned about what are they going to do because of what I just signed this deal and I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. And listen, people revert back to who they are and what they know. And this is, we've seen lots of players get in trouble. We've seen lots of players not get in trouble. And I think a lot of it has to do with who you are, your personality coming in, your tendencies, the people you have around you. And so you throw money on top of that. If you come from something that's sort of stable and cautious, now it's going to be put to the test. If you come from something that is sort of reckless and impulsive, it can absolutely take you over to the other side.
There is a certain amount of power. Well, there's a large amount of power that comes with being a drug dealer.
Well, yeah.
You're a wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little do you realize that 98% of your clientele just cares about getting their drugs. They don't want to spend time with you. They don't want to go have dinner with you. And drug dealers, sometimes I think it's an insecurity thing. I've certainly known my share of drug dealers for a long period of time, and none of them want to do what they're doing. They don't like doing what they're doing. They have kids. They have families. They're out at 3 o'clock in the morning,
right.
But it's a business. And in most cases, they're doing it just because that's the only way they know how to make money, because they've been doing it for a long period of time. Then you get to the point where maybe money's not really the issue. I can't believe Greg Robinson, the former number 2 overall pick of the 2014 draft. I mean, anyone will tell you, you make your money in your second contract, and he got that.
Right.
I can't imagine why he would have $120,000. I don't know. I don't know what his situation is. Maybe he blew through all of it. I don't know. Obviously, he didn't have a great career in the National Football League, but still, he was a number 2 guy. He got a huge flipping payday. I don't even know what the bonus money is. It had to be $30-40 million guaranteed.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Without playing a snap in the National Football League.
Isn't that
and you get pulled over in a
Yeah.
2021 Cadillac Escalade, which means he must be doing pretty good. It's a $100,000 car, $80,000 car. With $120,000 worth of drugs, and I'm like, okay, is this what you want to do? Is this what you want?
No, it's what you know. And I'm not saying the drug. It's not that doesn't sound right. It's not the drugs are what you know, although that's possible. It's what you bring. It's what you bring into the next career. It's what you know about life, and again, that's what I'm saying. The money, in some ways, can either take you away from it, or it can free you up to revert back, because you're like, if I get in trouble, I'll pay my way through. I'm not going to be touched. The police will let me go. It's all of that. The other thing that we see too, particularly with athletes who get in trouble, is the pressure. I was watching some stuff with the Olympics last night. The pressure.
How about that 15-year-old Russian girl, huh?
Yeah. Well, and Chloe Kim.
Yeah.
And Victor Chen and all of them. We don't see, you can't see pressure.
Yep.
Right? So we only see them performing, we see them making mistakes. And that kind of pressure, when you have that kind of pressure, particularly in pro sports, and you have the money's pressure. I was listening this morning to one of the ESPN shows, and they were talking about the difference because, Joe Burrow, and he's saying that he's going to be fine because he's played in big games, and Keyshawn was talking about, no, it's not big games. It's like the difference between pro and college is in pro, you're playing for money. You're playing for your money. You're playing for your teammates' money that's supporting their kids. It is a whole nother pressure. And obviously Al can talk about this, that we don't see, that's got nothing to do with the game, and it can break you. And when I say break you, to the point of doing stupid things, not on the field, doing stupid things off the field. I absolutely believe that.
I mean, the difference between Alvin Kamara, and I don't know what his past is. I don't know if he's had any runs with the law. That whole situation, and he said one story, and you can look at the tape and tell that he just pounded the guy, and he's I don't think he's going to go to prison, but he's going to get a pop for it. He's certainly going to have some punitive damages, or someone's going to be making some money. But for something like this is a premeditated.
Yes.
In order to have it, they set the stuff out. It takes up an entire table. I mean, he looked like a traveling drug show.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, dude, what happened?
Right.
I mean, I get it for like a Johnny Manziel who's got a past, didn't have any success, still got a lot of money. But I mean, I kind of understand that. But for a guy who is that good,
but you don't know his life, right?
And he's already been popped once.
Yeah.
He's already given the golden ticket to get out. He didn't spend any time in prison for having 58 pounds of marijuana.
Right.
I don't get it, man. It's just weird. We're on Facebook Live with the Tony Curry page if you're listening to us on Tony Curry Radio right now. And, of course, the Tony Curry Radio app. We've got Blues Almighty a little bit later on today. When in Rome with Stuart Rome from the Woodhouse Day Spa. By the way, if you're looking for a great Valentine's Day gift, now's the time to do good. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, 905-7676, 905-7676. Give them a call, and even if you wait to the last minute, like 5 o'clock on Monday, you can go to the website, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, click on it, click the package, print it off in the basement, bring it upstairs, put it in a card, and give it to her, and she'll be super, super happy. Great show we're going to be doing tomorrow. He did some Valentine's trivia. Oh, we talked about it. It's great. It's a great show. And we played some love music. You know what we played? Chevy Van. Chevy Van.
Totally.
Yeah. Right?
Okay.
I heard.
I gotta hang on. I have to. I gotta collect myself because with
I
you,
knew you'd say something
forget.
about it.
I forget that you know how I forget that I'm on camera and then it's all being recorded.
Yeah.
So I love that song.
I know. I saw it. I was like, if Dr. Josh saw
It's
this
one
right
of my
now,
favorite
he would
songs. But at the same time, and I have to like sort of put this away. When I listen to the lyrics, if I'm like listening, I'm like, oh my God, you can't play that song now. Like you can't play that song now.
Oh yeah.
And you can't play that song now because of God, so many reasons. But it depends how it's interpreted, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
No, you just can't. You can't do it now. But
Who is that? Sammy Johns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys played that?
Well, yeah, it's a little hybrid show. It's a show that makes you look good, feel good because you're going to the Woodhouse Day Spa, and sound good because he picks 6 classic rock songs. So he played "Feel Like Making Love" from Bad Company.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, it's love songs.
Well, you know, we don't know how old she was when she got in the van.
No.
We don't.
You know what? I can't remember.
And she was tired.
I can't even. It's been so long since I've heard the song. I can't even tell you how it goes. Maybe I played it this morning.
Oh, it's one of my favorite songs.
It's a great song. All right. Before we get into Valentine's Day, we're going full bore. If you are, and it says 40%, I'll bet you it's higher than that. I'll tell you what. This is the first Valentine's Day that I haven't been married in 20 years.
You know they're going to get you on the. You know we're going to be on the news today.
Yeah.
You know that's why. This is why they're picking that topic.
We'll be on Fox 6.
Yes, and they told me
9:35.
they just let Tony talk.
It's the first Valentine's Day. It's the first time where I feel like now it's been a little sloppy the last 2 or 3 years. We were separated, but it's still Valentine's Day, and so I was trying to.
Yes.
It's still Valentine's Day.
I know.
Sent a card, and now it's kind of gone to my kids. Now I take care of my daughter, and I give my boys a little something for Valentine's Day, and we're done with it. But not having to celebrate anniversaries, birthdays to an extent, and Valentine's Days
Free?
is it's great, man. It's like the fact that I don't have to worry about anything for Monday. First of all, the money part.
Yes.
Because what guys do is when we forget, we spend way more than we have to because we try to make up for the fact that we weren't being thoughtful.
Right.
So we'll go out and buy the $750 bracelet.
We're in debt.
Then we're in debt. and so if you pound her with diamond earrings or something, oh my gosh, that suffices for your lack of thoughtfulness.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's another reason we hate it.
Particularly if you're in a, this is going to be good. Yep. Particularly if you are in a longer-term relationship.
Good morning, Andy Morgan.
Good morning, Andy. So particularly if you're in a longer-term relationship, that whole thing about sort of overspending, getting the thing. And we as guys, we do this all the time. We're going to go out, you forgot or you got in trouble or something, so you go out and you buy the diamond earrings, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you're in a long-term relationship, she knows how much you make. Or she knows kind of what your finances are. So you look, I mean, to be honest with you, you look kind of like an idiot because she knows. Again, if you're just well, first of all, and then I have one other thing about that. If you're first dating, don't give her diamond earrings on the first Valentine's Day. But if you've been in a relationship together and you go and overspend, she knows you're overspending. Mm-hmm. So you don't look better. You look worse because A, last minute scramble. B, you're showing your irresponsibility.
Yeah.
C, you're not really thinking about her and the relationship. It's the thing. And so you just like dug yourself, like you literally just dug yourself into like a triple hole.
No, and you set yourself a standard too, because if you're buying $500 diamond earrings because you forgot it was Valentine's Day or waited the last minute, then next Valentine's Day, you're creating just a monster, a Pandora's box of hell for you for love.
Well, particularly, and if she doesn't know what your income is,
yeah.
right? See, like if she doesn't know what your income is, then you're right, you're setting a standard. And the thing is, I don't know. I mean, we'll talk about like this whole thing about Valentine's Day. I mean, yes, it's overblown, overrated, but that's because I think we do that. We go to the place that is easiest for us, which is stuff. Yeah. It's stuff. Yeah. It's not. We don't check it back. It's like Christmas. It's like every holiday. Every retailer's jumping in. That's their job to make money. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we get caught up, particularly guys, in the I'm going to create something amazing for you, which I think even if we have the best intentions, like even forget the diamond ring, or maybe you didn't. Maybe you saved all your money and you're getting diamond earrings.
Yeah.
It's overkill with the stuff because it's supposed to be about, I sound cheesy, but it is supposed to be about your heart.
Yeah.
And I think when you do the stuff and no heart, then yeah, she's happy because she got stuff. But it's again, she's looking at you like,
I'm gonna fix it for you. I'm gonna tell you how to do it because I'm a relationship expert.
Well, you
have to be divorced to be a relationship.
Yes.
By the way, good morning to Henry Lavoie. You have to be divorced in order to be a relationship expert. And people are like, well, that's not an expert. You didn't make it work.
Oh,
well, you have to go through all of it to be a relationship expert.
I love that, Tony.
By the way, I want to say this real quick as a disclaimer. We've been doing relationship stuff for like 5 or 6 years. You're a sweetheart of a guy. You're my best friend. Man, I had so many red flags.
Yeah.
We would be taking phone calls. Oh, that's a red flag. Red flag. We even had flags in the studio. Red flag. I can't tell you how many times you probably looked at me and were like, pew, 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 pew.
Well,
but as a guy,
yes.
I thought we're going to work through this.
Well, it's not just
we're
as
going to figure it out. We're going to make this work.
It's not just as a guy.
There were so many red flags.
No, but listen, this is exactly why I can't tell you how many articles I've done on this one is, why do you not listen to your friends kind of thing? Mm-hmm. Right? We've talked about that a million times. And part of the reason you don't listen to your friends is you want the relationship to work out. Like you are biased. You are biased towards it's going to be okay because you don't want to think about the alternative.
Yeah.
So your friends are sitting there, obviously friends can do this right or they can do it wrong. They can hammer on your significant other and that doesn't help. But they can say, look, I'm your friend. I'm telling you, I don't like what you're saying. And what it does to you is, it's the truth hurts.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times the truth hurts and you're like, you don't say anything, but then in your head, you're like, okay, well, no, he's wrong. He doesn't really understand. How many relationships have we seen that go that way? Yeah. That is how it happens. All right, so you going to take notes?
Let's get into it. No, because I got to write these things down because I know the answers to these things because I'm a relationship expert.
You are.
And make it, okay, all right, I got it. Because these are coming. So, Valentine's Day. It could be your 13th Valentine's Day. It could be your 80th Valentine's Day. It could be your first Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. Here's how you do it so it doesn't create so much anxiety, pressure. Oh, my gosh, it's Valentine's Day. Everyone's doing all these different things, blah, 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 blah.
Get your paper out. Get your paper out.
First of all, here's what women want and here's what men want.
Okay.
Men want to get laid for the most part. Men want to have sex on Valentine's Day. And if they know they're going to have sex on Valentine's Day, that is plenty. I'm just being honest with you.
Well, and it changes their whole demeanor.
For the most part, again, there's outliers. There's some guys that don't want to have sex, but I'm not talking to you. Okay. So and now women are like, oh, great.
Well, maybe
but
not.
If that's
maybe they're on average.
On average.
Yeah.
If you're standing there waiting and he doesn't have to work for it, you're fully engaged and you're like, I want to be with you. I want to take care of you. It could even be a quickie. It doesn't matter. But guys really would enjoy that and guys love that. And that's enough Valentine's Day right there.
Yeah.
Now, if you're having it 3 or 4 days a week, you may have to think outside the box a little bit, get a little creative.
Yes.
If you're having it once a week or once a month, that will suffice. What women want is what?
An experience.
They want an experience / they want the thought to go into the day. Women love when they know that guys have thought about what they're going to do to make that day special. That's why homemade gifts are always great, because you put time and effort and you've thought about it. If you're buying her a $1,000 gift card to Woodhouse Day Spa, which I would suggest you do at birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
That's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing, but you're mailing it in. You're mailing it in.
Well, it's that plus.
Yeah, or the $750 earrings when
Right.
she knows you can't afford it. She realizes you waited the last minute and you're trying to buy the day.
Listen, even if you didn't, I think it's even worse. I think it's worse if you didn't wait to the last minute.
Women just want to know that you put some thought into it. That's all women care about.
Thought into them.
Thought into them, but they want to know that you are invested in the relationship enough to have actually thought about what you're going to do for Valentine's Day.
With them in mind. The reason I keep saying that is because as a guy, and we've done a different show on this sort of over the top, I'm going to, even if you're not spending a lot of money, I'm going to do this amazing experience and stuff. But maybe your significant other, your partner, maybe that's not what she's into.
Yeah.
So like, it's not only thinking a lot about what you're going to do, but it's thinking a lot about, and this is hard for guys, what she wants. Mm-hmm. What she would like, not what you think is good for Valentine's Day. This is where guys go wrong so much. Like, I think the diamond earrings, great example. Mm-hmm. So I can't believe it. First day back, I'm bringing Jules into it.
I love it.
Jules is not into jewelry. She doesn't wear jewelry. No. She doesn't wear jewelry. I've tried, and we've been married almost 25 years. I've tried a million times. Here's some earrings for your birthday or whatever. Mm-hmm. Oh, thanks. And then I look and they never get wear. So she's like, look, I don't wear jewelry. Mm-hmm. So you keep buying jewelry. And it's not that I don't think that's nice, but why don't you think about what I like? Not what you think
I like,
because I've already told you both indirectly and directly, I don't like those things. And I fully understand this because there's this part of me as a guy's, well, but earrings or jewelry, flowers.
Yeah.
We've done the don't get me flowers. Sometimes that means get me flowers. Sometimes that literally means don't get me flowers. Like you gotta know your partner. Don't try to, you can surprise them, but like don't try to override them on their decisions because that's just disrespect.
Yep.
But you're doing it. But a lot of times we do it as guys. We're like, we think, oh, no. She said she doesn't want that, but it's okay.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not, Valentine's Day is here. It's a day of love. It's forced love. If you're madly in love and you got a great relationship,
well, it doesn't matter.
Valentine's Day is just another day. It doesn't really matter. For people that are going through maybe whatever in life, just having kids and going through the everyday thing, it's an opportunity to take a break, take a breather.
Love that
it's
group.
You and me, and let's spend the day together. And don't force it. I mean, if you're not used to having romantic dinners, but once every 3 or 4 years, and all of a sudden on Valentine's Day, you're trying to put on this thing, it doesn't work. So you can really set a standard early in a relationship. And again, when you get together with a woman or a man, you're not expecting to be with them for 20 or 25 years. Maybe you are.
Yeah.
But here's how you can do it so it's not such an anxiety or anxious kind of day. Create the day for yourself. And what I mean by that is don't follow the lead of others. Don't feel like you have to go out there. I'm a relationship expert.
Sounds like a Dr. Josh segment. Go ahead. Go.
Make the day special for you and your wife or you and your husband. And what I mean by that is start doing something early in your relationship. Maybe it's writing a letter. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's sending her a card at work. Do something different that she's used to doing every single year that she gets excited about. It could be the smallest thing. Maybe you wash your car on Valentine's Day.
Your car or her car?
Her car.
Oh, okay.
Wash my car. Whatever it is, and then stick to it and do it every single year. That makes it your thing. And that means it's special to... That means it's special to her.
It's shared memory. That you're following the science, dude.
I've done a show with a psychologist for 6 years.
It's called shared memories. It's very important in a relationship.
And as long as you're doing that thing every year,
yes,
then it's special only to her. and she realizes you're doing it for her and not because it's Valentine's Day for everybody else.
That's right.
Right?
That's
So
right.
do that. And it could be like a little thing. It could be just like, again, signing a card. It could be washing her car. Maybe that morning you make her breakfast in bed.
Yes.
Do something special that is special for her. She'll look forward to it. She'll get excited about it. And sometimes you don't have to do anything else.
Right.
Period. The other thing is, and we've heard this, and you just mentioned Jules, if a woman says, I don't want anything, you better get her something. Don't be the fool.
Right.
Well, we've been together for 22 years, and she says she don't want anything. We just usually hang out and watch a movie together. No, she loves it. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. She wants something a little more special on Valentine's. And by the way, it's a two-way street, ladies. It goes both ways. Guys are much more easier to please. Yeah, we just want some hoochie coochie, and that will suffice. That'd be fine.
But we also like.
But
I don't know about you, but like I like the car. I mean,
I do too.
yes.
I
That
do
tells
too.
me how great I am.
It makes me feel special.
No, I'm saying the card that says.
Yeah.
No, not just the card. The card doesn't do crap.
Yeah.
I want the card with the note in there that tells me how wonderful
I'm telling you right now, if you're in a relationship where you've gotten to the point where you're just doing the flowers, and that's kind of the flowers, chocolate early, then you start getting into jewelry, special things, dinners, and then you get to the point where you revert back to the chocolate and flowers because you've done everything else. It's Valentine. Right. We love each other. We're good. We don't need Valentine's Day to proclaim our love to each other. You are headed down a bad road. I'm just telling you.
I know.
That is not good. I used to have a friend of mine. He used to have anniversaries. He had like his 21st anniversary. And I said, what are you doing for your anniversary? We just get Little Caesars and we just hang out and watch a movie.
Caesars.
Really? Yeah, she don't want to. She don't want to make a big deal out of it.
What?
I'm telling you, man, every woman wants to make something out of something. And again, it doesn't have to be $1,000, a nice dinner. It doesn't have to be a limo. It just needs to be that special moment, that memory that you're creating with her every single year.
You see where you're going with it?
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing where I think we miss it. We like you said, we keep trying to up the game.
Yeah.
But in particular for guys, I say this women too. We're playing the wrong game. Everybody likes stuff, or most people like stuff. You get me something like, I like chocolate. Oh, that's great. I like chocolate. And, the roses, depending on who you are and what, I knew someone once who was, the wife was allergic to roses. She was allergic to flowers. And he kept trying to give her flowers. I'm like, dude, what? You're creating, it's torture for her. Like, get her a succulent or or go somewhere else. But I think the problem we have is we keep going stuff as a symbol or a token of our love, and which is fine if you also express your love. And there's only really, in my view, there's really one-ish way to express your love. The sex part is a way to express your love. You need to write it, tell them, show them in a not overtly sexual way. It's intimacy.
Yep.
Intimate words written, intimate words spoken, and intimate touch. That has to be there because that is what the gifts, by definition, don't have. This is the human part. And we, like, again, whether we're uncomfortable with whatever, it's almost as if, by giving the roses, okay, now I don't have to get into but that's the difference between a successful token of your love and an unsuccessful token of your love.
And if you're a guy watching right now,
and you're going,
I'm going guys because we're guys
Klapow's full of shit.
Full of shit, yeah.
Now,
it ain't gonna happen.
Right?
You may be married for 40 years, but it ain't gonna be 40 great years. I'm just telling you.
I know.
You've got to do something special for. You're only talking 2 or 3 days out of the year.
Well,
an anniversary, a Valentine's Day, a birthday, a Mother's Day. I mean, you got 4 days out of 365 days where you have to step it up just a little bit and do something to let her know that you remembered that day, that you think that day's special, and you appreciate it. Like, she doesn't do shit for me. Well, I got news for you. I'm telling you, you're going down a bad path. You may be married for the rest of your life, and you may say you had a great. I'm telling you, this is part of your marriage or your relationship that you can make better, and it's easy to do.
Well, and I
It's
tell
super
guys,
easy to
listen to this. I'll say this very strongly. If you're doing it, and it's a hassle, and you're doing it, and you're just doing it to get it sort of done, then I would ask you, if you're sitting here, I'm like, do you love her? Do you love her? Oh yeah, of course. No. Do you really love her? Because if you really love her, then there is something in you that you should be able to take out in spoken words or written words that tells her why you love her. If it is one giant task and you can't figure out what it is that you love about her, then you don't love her.
Yep.
Like, let's just stop there. You might as well not get anything. And that's why I'm saying is what you have to do is ask yourself, what do I love about her? What is it that I love about her? Okay, great. You think she's sweet and she's kind and she's got beautiful eyes and you love the way she smells. Say that.
Write it down.
Put it on a damn piece of paper. But don't not do that because not doing that doesn't. When you don't do that, all you're doing is you're in the same level as everybody else, which is you're getting stuff. You get roses, I get roses. We both give it to our significant others. There is no difference between us that makes it special. What makes it special is what I say to her, which should be different. Because here, for the love of God, guys, too, don't copy something. Don't use a line.
Dude, don't buy a card and not add something to it.
No.
If you go with a card, set it all. Then she's married to Hallmark. Don't do that. You got to add something. You ain't got balls if you don't buy a blank card with a heart on it and write your own shit in it.
Yes.
When you because she skip.
We all do.
She's looking on the back and it just says love Tony or love Josh. Dude, you got to add something to it. I hope you have a great. You got to add something to the card.
Okay, as long as we're going there, God, we are so.
And I know there's a lot of guys right now are going, "Oh, this sounds so." If you're sitting there saying right now, "Oh, this sounds so hard," then you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of work to do.
Why are you with them?
You do. And the thing is when you have done that thing, you've gotten that special gift for Christmas, or you thought, oh, I remember something she wanted, and you've gotten that one Christmas gift or that one card or that one. It makes you feel so much better and more invested in the relationship. Then you put the onus on her.
Yes.
You're one up.
Right.
Hey. Looks like Daddy did pretty good this Valentine's Day. Then you wait for the next one, and you see what happens. And you can kind of get a feeling for what she feels for you. It's a two-way street. It goes both ways. The other thing, I'll say this, and I know that we've had a little bit of rub here. Women love men who take charge.
Yeah.
They married you as a provider, as a giver, as a man to protect the family. I know that women are strong too. I'm not talking about that. Don't ask a woman, what do you want to do for Valentine's Day?
Well,
Don't do that. Don't do that. You've been with her for 13 years. You should know what she wants to do for Valentine's Day.
Be careful.
But
be careful.
I know.
Be careful. Go ahead.
But if you've been in a relationship for a long period, I'm not talking about first or second Valentine's. I'm talking like if you're married and you got kids, what do you want to do for Valentine's Day?
Don't ask it that way.
Don't ask that.
But at the same time, I will say, because I don't want to steer guys the wrong way on this. This gets back to the gift thing. Taking charge doesn't mean that you get in your head what you think is the best Valentine's.
Yeah.
And you're not really considering her. This is exactly.
No, think about this. Is the Will and Jada Pinkett thing.
Yes.
When Jada had her 40th birthday party.
Yes, this is. Yep.
Will threw this big ass birthday party for her that went 3 days. And it was millions of dollars. Had bands. Had her friends. Had his friends. Had balloons. Had yachts. Had fireworks. The whole 9 yards. And she cried.
Yes.
And he's like, "What the hell? I just threw you the most awesome 40th birthday party." She goes, "Did you throw it for me or did you throw it for you?"
Yes. Well, that's why I'm saying
he wanted to make sure that he was a power player. He wanted to make sure, and he admitted that. He wanted to make sure that everyone in Hollywood knew that they were the Hollywood couple, that they were really well off, that they were super in love, and they wanted to see everybody, and they wanted everyone to see them as this perfect couple, and it was far from it. They almost got a divorce over it.
Yep.
She's like, "You did this for you, not for me." It wasn't all about her.
Be super careful about, I understand what you're talking about, taking charge, but I think you can take charge. A lot of taking charge has to do with what your words are. So if you go in, Valentine's Day is coming, do you want to do anything?
No, you say,
here's what I'm thinking.
No, you say, is there anything special you'd like to do on Valentine's Day? That way you're getting her involved, and at that point, she'll say, well, I'd really like to have a dinner or something like that. Then you follow that lead, okay, and then you put that in there. But you don't sit there and say, what do you want to do for Valentine's Day? You got any ideas you want to do for Valentine's Day? Take control of Valentine's Day. We know this is not a 50-50 street. It's not. Women expect things from men. Men expect nothing, and if they get laid, they're super happy. All right? But guys got to take control here. Oh my gosh! Then you got red flags all over the place. Take control and do it early. And then when you set that standard, man, it's easy.
But
Valentine's Day is just another
take
day.
influence. Pay freaking attention.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem we have as guys. We're not paying attention to her. So, is there anything special you want to do for Valentine's Day? No, there's not really something special.
I got it. I got it covered then.
Yeah, but that's not a ticket for you to cover it exactly the way you think will be best for you.
Yeah, take her to her favorite restaurant, even if you hate the food.
That's exactly. That's yes. Thank you.
Well, it's my Valentine's Day too. No, it's not.
No.
You're doing it for her. She'll get you back.
Yes.
She'll realize that. Take her to, if you hate sushi, take her to a sushi place.
Yes.
Don't go, well, I don't like sushi, so we're going to go to Fleming's instead.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, she I don't like Fleming's.
She's freaking vegan.
Next thing you know, you're sitting there eating a porterhouse, and she's sitting over there going, okay, well, this isn't good about that.
That's exactly where I was going.
But then you wonder why you're not getting any cooch later.
But I think as guys, our intentions are super good, but we're not thinking like you have got to take you out of the equation for a moment if you're doing this for them. Mm-hmm. See, I think this is really, to me, this is the interesting thing. You could say, particularly if you've been with them for a while, let's do something special for us, right? Mm-hmm. And then that way it becomes more of a, hey, let's go to this restaurant. We both like this restaurant. Mm-hmm. That's different than I'm doing something special for you. Right? So, and I think that's important because I think you can have Valentine, depending on the Valentine's, you can have it both ways.
Yep.
We're both tired. Let's say we're both tired. You know what? Do you want to watch a movie? I know I can see you're tired. I'm tired. Yeah, let's watch a movie. Okay. Let's watch a movie we both like. It comes in words.
Yep.
It comes in words, and the more you are willing to go there in words and not be afraid, particularly of a guy, of rejection, not sexual rejection about your idea. Mm-hmm. No, I don't really feel like going to Fleming's tonight.
Yep.
And you see, guys, a lot of times we are, well, fine. Okay.
I had this big night planned.
Yeah, I had a whole big night.
Did you have the big night? Did you have the big night planned for her? Or did you have the big night planned for you?
We're gonna go to Fleming's. We're gonna drink a lot of wine, right? And then I've already picked out your lingerie. It's already laid out there for you. I have it's cheesy. I have a rose on top of the lingerie. I got the bubble bath going. I got the music. We're playing Chevy Van, and it's the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, look at me. Yeah. I am Superman. And you know what she does? She does one of two things. Either she kind of, excuse the pun, she sucks it up and just kind of goes through it.
Mm-hmm. I guess she doesn't want to hurt your feelings.
Don't want to hurt your feelings.
She knows how much effort you put into it.
Exactly. Yeah. But you know what?
She appreciates the effort, by the way.
She appreciates the effort, but it's not coming from a place of love if she's going all the way through that. Or she starts giving you the signs of that she doesn't really want to do that. And that's another chance for you to man up. If she's giving you the signs that, look, the meal was great, but I'm bloated.
Yeah.
Please, I don't want to get into that thing. Mm-hmm. As a guy, if you throw your little temper tantrum and start pouting,
good luck.
You just blew it.
Yeah.
Like have the balls to put your balls aside for the evening.
There you go. The other thing is, and this is a little iffy here. Make every day Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, this is a Dr. Josh Instagram. I can see it.
Did you
Make
say
every
that?
day Valentine's Day.
No, I would never say that. I don't think that.
Listen, if you're not waiting for those special days, anniversaries, birthdays, Mother's Day, or Father's Day, or Valentine's Day, to exert your love, thoughtfulness, appreciation, whatever. Yeah. If you're waiting for those days to do those things, to show your appreciation, then they're expected. And it makes it harder to do because I'm not used to putting a tie on and going out to dinner on Valentine's Day, and that makes me uncomfortable. Well, then maybe you should do it on a Tuesday in April once.
Well,
see what happens.
It also cheapens it, I think. I think it really cheapens it because if you really aren't doing much in between, and there's a lot of holidays. You can get birthday, anniversary, Valentine's, Christmas. There's there's a lot of holidays that you could hit. But if you're only hitting those or almost always hitting those, then what the message you're sending is that this is coming because of the holiday. The holiday's cueing it. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you that it cheapens it beyond belief. If you're drawing the bubble bath for her only 4 times a year, and all 4 times you're expecting something afterwards, dude, you just blew it. Yep. I mean, you blew. And this is what we're both saying. Oh my God, it's so easy. It's not hard. We're so good as guys at so many complicated things. This is super easy. When she says she's tired and her back hurts, you don't even have to magically disappear and draw the bubble bath thing. Yep. Say, can I draw you a bath? Mm-hmm. And even if she doesn't feel like it, then the fact that you said that, she's like, I was thinking about me.
You really want to set the table, no matter how horny you are, because all guys think that when we touch our woman and she responds, we're getting laid.
Stop. Right? I know.
Well, it was the middle of the night, and I felt her foot up against my foot, and I thought, well, she never does that, so she must be in the mood. Next thing you know, roll over, she's like, what the hell are you doing? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. If you occasionally, I'm just talking like maybe once a year, and we don't do this, we don't have to get crazy here. You do all the things that you would normally do prior to thinking you're going to have sex, and then stop.
Yes.
She'll kill you. She'll jump your bones right now. Rub her back and then stop. Rubber
it's almost
feet,
impossible for guys.
It's almost it is impossible. It is impossible because we're kind of waiting. If she's still snoring, we're like, okay, this ain't going to happen. But for the most part, because girls know that. They know he never touches me, so when he touches me, he thinks he's going to get some ass, and sometimes I follow through, sometimes I don't. Right. But if you would rub her back, sorry, I had a rough day right after work, just rub her shoulders, and she's probably going, oh, God, it's 5:30, I got to make dinner, the kids are crying, and he's wanting sex right now. And then stop.
Yes.
Stop.
Well, but you know what?
And walk away and go watch television. She'll go, what just happened here? Because you're not expecting anything. And all you got to do is do that like every once in a while, and it is super hard. And it may work. She may go, but I'm telling you, every time I've done that, a few minutes later, she's coming up and she's rubbing my back.
See, you're already setting guys up the wrong way. Because now it becomes a formula. Don't do it. Don't do it with the formula, because the formula is, Tony says, if I rub her back and don't try to do anything else, then a few minutes later, I'm going to get, It does not work that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Well, just don't go into it every time expecting it to happen, because you're going to get rejected.
Right. And even if and don't wait till you get rejected. That's the other thing. The rubbing the back, like, don't rub the back and if she's kind of moaning and groaning because it feels really good, don't even go an inch further. Just rub her back.
Yes.
Just rub her back, because her back hurts because she's tired.
Yeah.
She's tired.
And then maybe you get a chance to really make her back hurt.
No, see, that's...
Ed's Pet World, one of our brand new sponsors here of Dark Side of the Pooch. It runs every Monday at noon and 8 with Dr. Rab Stewart, recording a brand new show today. A 47-year family-owned business based in Birmingham. I know Seth. I knew his dad. I knew Angie. I know all the fine folks. I went down the other day. My snake hasn't eaten 3 months. I was freaking out.
Is it like hibernating or something?
No, I didn't realize. That's the great thing. They got exotic pets. They got everything from lizards, geckos, chameleons, bearded dragons, red-tailed boas. I got a ball boa, parakeets, Amazon parrots that even talk, chinchillas, ferrets, more. They got rabbits down there right now. They had a squirrel down there. They got exotic pets, all that, skunks. They do all kinds of exotic pets, and they help you have the most beautiful memory with your animals. They're going to provide all the things you need to make sure your animal stays super healthy because they want to keep seeing you. So I took my ball python down there, and Seth was down there. He's like, dude, your ball python is beautiful. That snake looks fantastic. And I said, well, it hadn't eaten in 3 months. He goes, they can go 8 months without eating. Did you know that?
Really?
He's like, no, it's good. He goes, like, if it's not coming out, it's the wintertime, it's dry, maybe a little cool, put a rag in there, blah, 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 you're good to go. And so I was like, okay, I was freaking out because I didn't want my baby dying. Not only that, but they have an amazing collection of vintage and modern toys. Seth goes all over the country getting vintage toys, probably more toys than pets. Kids love this place. It's the perfect place. They buy, sell, and trade. So if you have collections up in your attic, things in boxes, they have all kinds of Star Wars stuffs, pops, figures, various items, especially watches, modern toys. Check out Ed's Pet World. They're fantastic. 879-1331, 879-1331. They've been in Homewood for almost 50 years. They're fantastic. All right, so we hope that cleared up some things. I'm getting Teresa Ponder and Arlene Mickley, is that right? Arlene Mickley, welcome in. Arlene's a new one.
Yeah, you know who
Welcome
that
in,
is?
Arlene. Who? That's your Aunt Arlene?
That's my mom.
That's your mom?
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Josh's mom is watching?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's early.
That is awesome. Yeah,
Hey,
she's-
Mom.
she's
Thanks.
West Coast. That's super. Your mom is watching before
now-
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, now, okay.
I love that.
All right, and that's going to change my whole way that I talk now.
No, it shouldn't change anything. Hey, real quick, and then we'll wrap up this Valentine's Day thing, and we hope you learned something too. There are a couple of things from a science standpoint. This psychologist mentions even if you've met the one, you still have a deal with monster storms and harsh realities in the world. Valentine's Day is this weird yearly promise, and some of us feel disenchanted by it. That's the one thing. It's like masks. We don't want to be told what to do. And on Valentine's Day, we're told if you don't do something, you're a schmuck. And you better realize that you better do something. It doesn't have to be something incredible, but you better realize that this day is something special for your woman and for your man, even if it's a card. It is a day. Get over it. Valentine's Day, screw it. Well, if you love your wife the other 364 days a year and you show her that, then you're right. Valentine's Day is just another day.
But you don't have to
if you're one of those
reject
guys for 364 days, it is what it is. It's like saying Christmas doesn't exist.
Right.
It does. You better get over it. You better take care of it. The other thing is oxytocin,
Yep.
the so-called love hormone by the hypothalamus.
Yes.
The neurochemical binds the neurons in the brain and helps to increase social bonding, romantic attachment, and empathy. Women produce 2 times as much as men do because of our testosterone levels.
Yeah.
So around this particular day, it's not a 50-50 street. It's not. It means more to women than it does men because of their oxytocin production of this particular day, and it's a day of love. And if you're one of those guys that's not very intimate with your wife and you don't touch her a whole lot, and you're not good in bed, and all of a sudden she expects something special on Valentine's Day, you better like touch her kneecaps or something. Get after it. The other thing I think is really interesting. I love because you've done this before. Oversharing on social media.
Careful, my mom's watching.
Oversharing on social media. Research from Northwestern found that people who overshared about the relationship on Facebook were 75% less likable.
Yeah.
Oversharing means more than just sharing the occasional picture with your loved one. It's higher levels of disclosure, like a play-by-play of your Valentine's Day night.
Yeah.
People hate that.
No.
And no, that's not curmudgeonly single people who frown this kind of behavior no one likes.
Yeah.
They find out that singles and married and significant other types of relationships find it just excruciating. The difference between perceivers who are single and those who are no different. They found out it doesn't seem to be about the single people feeling jealous or resentful. It just seems like everyone dislikes oversharing. We don't like seeing pictures of, and listen, Facebook is going to be full of Valentine's Day stuff because guys want to prove their love to their woman. I want to have a picture of me and my wife at the dinner table, or this is what I got my wife for Valentine's Day. They're going to do those things.
And I know I do. I think it's okay. This is just me. I think it's okay, like if you're going out for a special dinner.
Yep.
Or special something and you're all dressed up, I think it's okay to take a picture. And I think it's okay to post that picture. I do think that's okay. That's just me. What I don't think and I don't like is what you said. Here's a picture I got. Then a picture of us at the restaurant arriving.
There's what we're eating.
There's what we're eating. Then we're coming back. Then a smoochie on the side. Like the narrative of it is, at least for me, that's what's irritating. If you're dressed up nice and you did something special for Valentine's Day and it's just a nice picture of you looking nice, you and your significant other, that doesn't turn me as the person who's watching. I don't think that's over the top.
Ask yourself this question. Before you take a picture of you and your wife or at the special dinner or of your family or of your vacation or whatever, why are you posting it?
To share it with the world.
Okay. Why do you need to share that with the world?
Well, I take it back. To share it
now,
with
some
the people.
people go, well, my aunt, my mom wants to see pictures. Well,
does.
you could easily just get on the text message and send a picture. I thought you'd like to have a picture of our Valentine's night. And you're like, and she go, why the hell do I want to see a picture of you and Jules on Valentine's night? So why in the world would the rest of the world want to see that?
Yeah.
It's for you. It's for you. I posted a picture of me and my daughter.
Well, there you go.
At a father-daughter dance. Why do you think I posted that?
Because you love your daughter and you were happy and we. Well, no, I'll tell you why.
Well, why do you think I posted that?
So you
why do you think Tony Curry
downloads.
posted it? You think? I got 23,000 likes on that picture. And I wanted everyone to know that I'm a great dad.
No,
that
but-
I love my daughter.
Okay.
And I want to share it with the world. I don't post a lot of things in my family.
I know.
But that's what most people would go, why am I sharing this picture with my wife? Because I want, now, if you're doing it because your wife's also on social media and she loves that kind of stuff, oh my gosh, I
yeah.
can't believe Tommy posted a picture of us together that's beautiful. She's liking it. Then that's a different story. But if you're posting pictures, it makes you feel good about. I'm not saying it's necessarily right or wrong.
No, I know.
That's why people overshare on lovey-dovey days.
Yeah. So, but the only thing I think, like when you posted your picture with you and your daughter,
Yep.
I was thinking about this. Had you not posted that picture,
Yes.
those of us who know you, who let's just say people knew that you went to the dance,
Yep.
we wanted to see that. Like, I think if you think about your friend circles,
And I love it.
They want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see what you think you're going to wear, where you're going to go, getting there afterwards, etc. But I do want to see even people that I just, are somewhat distant, high school friends. I do enjoy just passing by and looking. Oh, look, you had a nice Valentine's. That's interesting. I enjoy seeing that. Like, I don't spend 4 hours on it.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously, like,
The other reason I posted it was because as you get followers, it helps the business and it helps your following.
so you're using her as a pawn.
I knew I was. I was like, I have got to
That
post
was
a picture.
classic. Yeah.
It's not, it was smart.
Yeah, but
I post something really, really funny, and I get 5 likes, and I post a picture of my daughter or one of my sons. I know it's going to blow through. But that's a reason why I don't use them as pawns, because a lot of people just want to post pictures of their kids over and over and over and over again. People just keep liking, and they keep moving on. And it makes them feel good because they obviously
it's
people are
special moments. That's the thing. It's to me
very special moments.
Special moments. That's not COVID. It's me talking.
I don't care if it is because you already got COVID. And I got COVID too. We both had COVID. We're good. We could kiss each other right now. We're fine.
I think special moments are okay. And I think you need to look at your feed. And also, I'll tell you, because I get this, I get this in my family. My family, I tend to overpost. My family jumps on my ass immediately. Pull that down. Don't put that up. It takes a lot of courage, but I think it's important sometimes to ask your friends or people in your inner circle, do you think I'm posting too much? And be ready for feedback. Because the people, your close friends would be, and you've done this with me when I'm about to jump into an argument. Check it back. Just check it back. And I recently posted something that I actually pulled back down because a friend sort of texted me and said, I understand why you're posting this. I understand you want to jump in the conversation, but it's not coming across the right way. And for your sake, I would pull it down. And it doesn't have to be controversial things. That's what I mean. If you're posting 9,000 pictures of everything you do, chances are, unless you're a celebrity, like a celebrity, no, I can't think of anybody who really cares that Judy's posted her spaghetti dinner.
Our social media accounts are a canvas of our lives. People don't post the arguments. They don't post the screaming at each other unless they want to, the drive-by shootings, all this. I'm not talking about that. But when you post something, you're putting out a perception of you and your family and what you want people to see. And that's why a lot of people don't like social media, because if your life ain't going particularly good, all you see is love and people holding hands and special events and all these other different things. And again, it's a great networking tool, certainly for businesses and for lives in general. But the people don't want to see that because it's all just.
Yep.
And you don't know what these people are doing, man.
You have to remind
the guy who's
yourself that.
posting a picture with him and his wife on Valentine's Day, he could have just done something horrible an hour before, or maybe he's going to do an hour after, because we're all human and we all do stupid things. But we don't post those kind of stupid things. That's why when someone posts something that's really, really heartfelt, or they're in tears, or they're depressed, it's kind of like, whoa.
Yes.
What is that? Now, our friend Rachel Barbeau, she posts it all. She gets it out there. We know what it is. Yeah.
She gives you all of it. And I think, to me, if you're going to be out there, you better put all of it out there. I'm saying, take it back. There's got to be a purpose. She's doing this for a purpose. There is a reason that she's doing this. There's something behind it. Her whole passion in her ministry is showing people what it's like to be real and unfiltered.
No mask.
But she's very careful. It's interesting because we talked about this about Rachel. Rachel Barbeau is our friend, and she goes around the country speaking about people being authentic, people living into their values, people not being afraid of distress and all that kind of stuff. But I think where the message gets confused is she is a spokesperson for that, but she's not telling you you need to do that on social media too. And in fact, she will be the first to tell you, I'm doing this so the message gets out there. I don't want you to do this on social media. I want you to do it other places.
Yep.
And I think that's the difference between, this is why, you got a platform. You're Tony Kurre. So Tony Kurre, we want to see Tony Curry's kid.
Yep.
We want to see Tony Curry's kid. Me, not so much.
Yeah, you were posting crazy man from London.
Well, that was that was a trip of a lifetime. Like, that was like the most epic adventure I've ever been on.
See, that worked, though, because you were showing something that I thought was interesting.
Well, yeah, I
like
wasn't
bars from 1527.
That's exactly.
As long as it just wasn't the three of you walking down the street.
No.
Which you did as well. Then I'm, and I asked you, send me pictures because you're my best friend. So I wanted to see where you were going, and I'm invested in your life, and I'm engaged in. I love your family, so I wanted to see that. But the majority of people, I don't think, care. Final thing on Valentine's Day that I want to talk about, Whitney Houston. Our brain doesn't give us an easy way to get away from the conflict and social isolation that we feel when someone doesn't reciprocate feelings. Mm-hmm. The worst thing is when you get dumped on Valentine's Day, or it just doesn't go the way you think. I hate when I'm.
Can I just quick. I don't care. I mean, obviously, if there's abuse or there's that. Mm-hmm. But if your relationship is going bad, do not use Valentine's Day as the exit day.
No, but but also don't fake through it.
No, but yeah,
because it's never good
for just the day. Just don't do it. You don't need to do it on Valentine's. Like, that's the whole thing. It makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Because you could have done it the day before, the day after. Don't do it on Valentine's Day.
It depends on that street. Because if someone's really invested in the relationship and they don't see the red flags, and the other person's like sending you red flags left and right, but you don't want to see them. And all of a sudden you're on Valentine's Day and you're expecting this big thing and it just goes horribly wrong. It's not good. The feeling of isolation and conflict is processed the same way in our brain as physical pain is processed through our pain matrix. In other words, love literally hurts.
Yes.
On Valentine's Day could be a not so subtle reminder of this. So for people that are single, it's interesting because if you've been married, depending on how the relationship went and it ends, Valentine's Day is kind of fun because you're kind of a single person again. A lot of people like being single on Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
A lot of people certainly like being in love. So we'll get into that. Don't forget Chris Doris, the State Farm team. They're wonderful people. I just got my son insurance. I'm in the process of selling a vehicle, getting him a car. He wants his own car. And of course I need to find out, what the insurance is going to be on that. He did the Steer Clear program. He's got a 3.0 GPA or better. And because he took driver's ed, it's going to save me thousands of dollars every single year. Chris Doris, they've got a budget for any plan. So all you got to do is check them out at 205-985-7799, 985-7799. Chris Doris, the State Farm team. I talked to Carrie there. She's fantastic.
Yes.
I love
Carrie.
She's a great emailer. I love her. She's wonderful. They do great work. Check out Chris Doris' State Farm team. What do they got here? Let me see here. You want your page to be real life, not carefully carded.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Andy says you want your page to be real life and not something that is a perceived.
It's hard to do though. I mean, because and then we'll go. I mean, I'll just say I agree with Annie, but at the same time, Tony Kurre would say, you don't need to make your page your life.
The other thing I think is another reason why I post, and I don't post a lot of pictures of my kids. I could post pictures of my kids all the time. First of all, I want to protect them.
Yes.
A lot of people walk up to me and go, "Hey, how's Santo?" And I'm like, "Who are you?"
Right.
That wigs me out a little bit because
Yes.
my son's been on the radio with us and he used to do basketball stuff. The other thing is I am painting this picture.
Yeah.
And while I may post something, with a cuss word in it or something like the condom machine that Nick Cannon had, people are like, whoa. And then they hear me doing a show with Michael Coleman, Mission Mind, and we're talking about, scripture and Jesus being the greatest storyteller of all time. They're like, okay, you just talked about vaginas and penises. Now I'm hearing you talk about Jesus. What in the world? So people who know who I am, I want you to see the whole picture. And by posting a picture of my kids and letting you know giving you a little insight to my life, not to say you care, But if you're
But
listening
you
to Tony
care.
Curry Radio,
Of course
because
you care.
if they do care, then that's
look,
important.
this is the
You
interesting.
got to sprinkle in. Your life's
Yeah.
a soup. You got to sprinkle in some little things here, and I think it's important to let people know. And I've been kind of careful that we did that show last Friday. I probably shared more than I probably should have about my divorce and
No, I
some
watched
things
it.
that sucked.
No,
and,
you were okay.
And I had
Only
to be,
I knew.
Yeah, I had to be super careful because I've always done whatever it took to get listeners and ratings and laughs, and that has bit me in the ass many times.
Mm-hmm.
I've thrown some people under the bus to get a laugh at their expense, and that's a
Wonder if
regret.
Joe Rogan's thinking
That's
the same
that's
thing.
a regret of mine. But that's another reason why I like to talk about me a lot, self-deprecation, because it's me that I'm hurting, so it doesn't really matter. Fox 6 will be on Fox 6 in about 20 minutes live on Fox 6 with, of course,
You're gonna
Mickey
get
Ferguson
grilled.
toy. Oh, I'm ready.
They're ready.
They're going to be talking Valentine's Day.
I'm
and
just here as your
perfect.
support therapist.
Oh, this is great. My first Valentine's Day as a single man. I'm looking forward to it. Want to throw it out. 10 years ago tomorrow,
Oh, jeez.
Whitney Houston died.
That you know what? That's interesting. It doesn't seem. It seems about right time wise. I think COVID's just slowed stuff down.
Yeah.
Seriously, like of all the things, you always throw that kind of stuff out. I'm like, oh my God, has it really been 10 years? Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting that it's happening around Valentine's Day every year. She, of course, had one of the greatest romantic songs, I Will Always Love You, a song written by Dolly Parton.
That's right.
On the same day she wrote Jolene, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, she wrote those two songs in the same day.
God,
You heard that on the Damon Johnson show last week.
Yeah.
And hopefully she gets into the Rock and Roll Hall of
She
Fame.
better.
There was a really interesting story that I read. It was a timeline of the 3 days prior to her death. And there was a big Clive Davis thing that she was out at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah, and they were worried about her. And yeah.
She came downstairs. Was it the morning of or the day before? They could tell she wasn't sober. It was 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And her manager said, "What are you doing?" She was wet.
Yes, I remember.
And she said that she had just gotten out of the pool because she was trying to improve her lung capacity from years of drug addiction and smoking cigarettes. And he was like, okay, Whitney is never seen before 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
That's when she got up normally, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Think about that life.
I know.
She was a night owl.
Yeah, but
to
still,
sleep till 3 o'clock every day.
that's not good for your body. It doesn't matter who you are.
No, it just throws off your whole. And it was heart-wrenching to read. And the one thing that really bums me out about the loss of her life, and probably the greatest national anthem we ever heard,
Yes.
was that it wasn't unexpected.
No.
When Whitney Houston died, we were all like,
Yeah.
that's
'Cause it was
that's where we thought Britney Spears was going. That's where we thought Lindsay Lohan was going.
Right.
Kurt Cobain kind of expected some of those things when you hear about these rock and rollers going off, and just the lifestyles that lead. But Whitney Houston was a bummer.
But this is why I think
She had a great opportunity for social redemption.
that's where I was going.
And we thought,
'Cause we
I thought it was kind of strange that her and Bobby Brown, and I'm not saying Bobby Brown killed her, but I do think he killed her. I think because of her association with him, I think she was relatively clean to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she got up with him, she just went down this path and just got into drugs. And again, I'm not blaming him. I think he enabled her a lot, because I think when you're around someone who's got the same issues you do, it's easier to do with them. And then you have a connection there. It's like smokers.
Yep.
You know, you will give away a $6 cigarette if someone will smoke it with you, because you're both getting cancer. That's a
Yes.
great thing.
Yes.
You know, and for Whitney Houston to go down that path, and it was kind of like, damn. And there's Bobby Brown still bebopping around. Some people can handle it, some people can't. You drink 12 beers, I drink 12 beers. It'll probably kill me, but you'll be fine. You'll be driving to work the next day.
That's right.
And for Whitney Houston, man, it just went downhill super great. I remember seeing some of the videos of her singing the last couple of times.
Oh,
and it
yeah.
she looked horrible.
Yes.
She was so flippin' beautiful.
Yes.
She was so hot.
I mean, this is why it's interesting, because then you take the flip side. I was thinking some of the rockers, like just Ozzy. It's a great one. He's still not dead.
Yeah.
We've been waiting. Or Keith Richards, like there's it's what you just said. With Whitney, we saw it coming, not her death, but her demise.
Yeah.
right? And everybody's pulling. Come on. And I do think Lindsay Lohan, Britney, I mean, those, like, I think it's interesting because we're watching them slide, and I know there's haters, but at least for most of us, we don't want to see another human being slide, and in fact, we want to see him pull on our side. I remember, like, Charlie Sheen.
Yep.
I'm like, what the hell? And yet at the same, and his behavior was really obnoxious. Whitney's and Britney's
He's turned into somewhat of a hero. I mean, he's got a huge following. People like Charlie Sheen.
That's exactly.
And I mean, Robert Downey Jr. was the prime example. That guy, he sold everything he owned for his drug habit, and he is now one of the most beloved Hollywood people.
Because we don't know him, so we don't know for sure, but he has redeemed. He has gone through and pulled up. And we want that because we want to see that it's possible, regardless of whether we have an addiction problem or not. What we want to see is that people can make it through tough times, and particularly with celebrities. It's easy to write off, well, of course they could navigate or they could deal with this because they got all the money. That's why I hate to say this. We want to see them at the worst because we want to see them at the place where money doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Quick pivot. Have you seen the commercial with Carl Anthony Towns for the he's endorsing now a rapid COVID test?
Oh no, I haven't seen
it. He doesn't even say anything, but it'll make you cry. He lost like 10 family members.
Yeah.
And so the opening of the commercial is literally he just says, something like, as COVID hit me and my family really hard. And that's all you need. If you're a sports fan, you're like, oh my God. Yeah. And then he's just endorsing he's showing the rapid test. And even something like that, you're looking at it, you're like, you're making it through.
Yeah.
We want to see people make it through.
Absolutely.
Because it gives us hope. And even if we're not going through exactly that, it's our way to go, okay, if they can make it through that, I can make it through this.
Yeah. Eric Clapton, James Taylor. Think about some of the guys.
Yeah,
Greg Allman had to give up heroin 27 times before he finally made it take. Those are great stories. Tommy Lee, according to Tommy Lee, he's still sober. You hear these stories about people that in the most difficult situations. There's some people. It is a disease, and you and I could do the same things for 30 years, and it's going to affect me a hell of a lot different. It's going to affect you. And I just love those stories of redemption. And it's unfortunately, it's the devil, and it's very, very difficult to beat, particularly when you've done it and you've been successful doing it for a long period of time. And Whitney Houston was. Whitney Houston didn't have to write another song. She was always going to be Whitney Houston, and unfortunately, it took her life. So, all right, coming up here in about 10, 15 minutes, we'll be on Fox 6 on the WBRC. We'll be live with Janice and Mickey and Toy and the entire crew, Mike Dubberly. So check us out. We'll be talking about Valentine's Day again. We'll podcast our show here. Hope you learned a little something from two guys.
Dr. Tony, you did
You've been
well.
divorced. Yeah, well, I'm a relationship expert.
You are, man.
Create those memories. The Valentine's Day doesn't have to be that difficult. With that being said, I'm not doing shit on Valentine's Day. Because I don't have to. I'm going to be single. But I'll be sitting here watching Mysteries of the Abandoned while you're out getting ass. I do miss getting laid, I'll be honest with you. It's been a long time.
That's a great. Can we just clip that one?
Huh?
We didn't clip that one. You could just use that for the radio station.
You know, I'm in this weird part. I know probably should have talked about this on Friday. I got friends of mine that get divorced, man. They're out knocking boots like with 6 or 7 different people on Tinder and stuff. I can't do it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I cannot have sex with someone that I don't care about right now.
It's okay. That's called being human.
It sucks.
Yeah, a lot of times knocking boots is a really strong.
I mean, I've got opportunities, and I'm just kind of like, I got invited to a party Saturday night, and I was like, just go out. You just need to blow off some steam. I'm like, yeah, that's not the steam. I just don't need the drama.
No. Well, and in your life and your job, trauma's more likely to follow you.
Yeah.
So you're a good guy.
Yeah, in the
it's
meantime,
okay.
This is my girlfriend.
What?
This is my girlfriend.
Oh, I thought you were waving to her.
Oh, I need to shave her. She's getting a little furry. All right, thanks for watching us on Facebook Live. Thank you for coming in, Dr. Josh Klapow. We do it every single Thursday, and of course, we'll continue to work together throughout the week. You can hear Dr. Josh on Adapt or Perish, a great show we do on Tuesdays at noon and 8 with Dr. Alex Hublein from Adaptogent, formerly GT Software. That's a great show. You have come into your own. I got to give you.
Well, thank you.
I am like blown away by how engaged you are in that show. It's a great. It makes the show good because basically what you're talking about is kind of like, okay, is this going to fly? It's a great show. It's our fastest growing show. It's great. So I give you kudos there.
Thank you.
So continue to listen to Tony Curry Radio. Download the Tony Curry Radio app. You can hear us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You see us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also LinkedIn. And certainly follow Mr. Josh Klapow as well. He's big time on Instagram, so check him out. We'll do some classic rock. I'm gonna make you do a Vituro Health commercial. You haven't done a commercial in a while. I've been doing your commercials for you.
No, let me tell you about Vituro Health. I'm going to tell you about my prostate. My prostate is in good shape.
What's your name of your prostate?
George? My prostate, George, is in good shape because I've learned from Vituro Health that prostate cancer is common. 1 out of 9 men are going to get it. And all you got to do, guys, is this. Number 1, you need to have a blood test every year to make sure that your prostate is in check. Number 2, if you develop prostate cancer, don't freak out. It's very treatable. Talk to your urologist and make sure you go to VituroHealth.com so you can learn the most innovative new treatments for prostate cancer. That's what they're doing at Vituro Health, is helping men beat prostate cancer. Again, pay attention to your prostate. It will help you live a healthier life. And when you or if you develop prostate cancer, go to VituroHealth.com.